Hey everybody, it's Travis. Good to see you guys. Today is the informative speech where I decide to explain how something works to you guys. And so since I'm here set up for a concert, I decided I'd take the opportunity to explain how my guitar works and all the equipment that I use and how I use it to basically produce the sound that I'm going for. And so that kind of involves several different stages um, of whatever of equipment, and so I'll just go through each of those and start from the start and explain how everything works in sequence. So the first thing I'll talk about is what I call the brain. It's kind of what it sounds like. It's the center of control for everything that I do, and that's where everything runs through. Well, this is it right here. Basically how this works is that it transmits this signal straight from my guitar through a series of loops and allows me to turn everything on and off that I need. It has 8 loops. What a loop is basically a switch that you can control remotely. You turn it on and off, and there's something connected to that switch, like an amp or an effect or something, and using that switch you can turn it on and off. And so I use this series, I use 6 of the 8 for that. And so I'll show you where the path starts. This is my guitar comes in here, and it goes through this, and then back here it goes into this first loop. This is the first loop here, these 4, and so it goes through all these, and I can just turn any of them on and off, and that's how I control that. And so I control the amps from here. The amps are probably the most important part. This is one amp here. I'll explain what this does. This amp is the clean amp, and by clean I mean it's just a very dry signal, nothing changed about it, and it's really clear and crisp. And I basically use that for the slower songs or quieter songs where there's not a bunch of noise, or it needs to be kind of lesser intensity. And so for the higher intensity stuff I use this amp. It's the same exact amp called Vox AC30, and you can see the settings are a little different if you notice that. And I use that for what's called dirty, or basically it just means more distortion. It's kind of for the heavier rhythm parts that are more driving and more intense. And I also use the dirty amp for solos, kind of bring it out louder. And so that's the basic stuff for that. And obviously I have to have a way to control all of that, so I'll show you the pedal board. This is by me where I stand on the stage. I'm kind of in transition, so I kind of have overkill right now. But this is the pedal that controls everything. And like I said, that device back there has loops, and this is how I control each loop. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 corresponding with the loops, and I can turn it on or off just by hitting the button. And aside from that, I also have presets. So that's where you take a configuration of loops on and off and save it, so that you can just switch between them without having to turn every single one on and off individually. And so this here basically works like a keyboard for a computer, as in it's just connected remotely to the actual brain of the system. And so that's how I control everything. And now probably the most important part is the effects that I use. That's basically what I get to have different sounds in different places. And there's 4 basic effects that I use. I'll bring you back here. The first one is overdrive. That's this purple guy here. That adds a little bit extra distortion for solos or for making it louder. And I have that connected to one loop. And the second effect is called a compressor. It's this guy here. What that does is to cause everything to be the same volume at any given time, whether you're playing louder or whatever. Its purpose is to keep it the same volume. Now back over here I have what is called delay. That's all controlled here. I just have 4 different types. Delay is a timed out echo. It's not an echo like you'd think it is. It's actually a very slow echo, so you hit it. I'll give you a little demonstration. So you can hear it kind of, I hit it once and it echoed a little bit afterwards. And so that's what delay is. And the last effect I use is called a volume pedal. That is this here. That's down, that's up. It controls how loud it is, just like turning the volume knob on your stereo or whatever. And so that's how all my stuff works, and that's what I do. I hope you enjoyed my informative speech, and I hope you were informed and actually learned something. So thanks for watching, and have a good time, everybody. Bye.